Opener in their last 8 seasons. In over the line, here comes Crooks. Crooks shot, scores! Jamie Crooks scores the very first home goal for the Victoria Royals.
It's game on!
Welcome back, WHL. The Victoria Royals kick off their inaugural season in the capital.
A royal welcome. Fans flock to the big rink to cheer on their new team.
First home opener, awesome.
Yes, it's back and it's here to stay, and so is Game On.
Game On is brought to you by Jenner Chevrolet Buick GMC. Here for you and in your community on the Old Island Highway.
Hello and welcome to a very special live edition of Game On, the first episode to our move to Sunday nights. This young fella here is Paul. I am Jeff, and yes, Game On now has a new home. Sunday nights at 6:30 and 10:30, and I'll tell you, we could not have picked a better weekend to kick off our new time slot.
Yes,
Paulie.
Jeff. History was made last night in front of a sold-out crowd at the Save on Foods Memorial Center as the WHL returned to the capital with the Victoria Royals taking on the Vancouver Giants.
That's right, Paul, and after a 17-year absence, the Western Hockey League made its triumphant return to Victoria.
It's time now to welcome your 2011-2012 Victoria Royals.
Looking good, Mark Donnelly. Hard not to feel the energy in there last night. Everyone going crazy, and just over 3 minutes in, the Royals give him reason to celebrate.
Yes, sir, Paulie. Jamie Crooks, remember that name? The Bullet. And there is your first home goal in Royals team history, at least home history. 1-0 for the home team.
Yeah, Victoria Royals and the rivalry between these two teams gets going after that. Plenty of rough stuff in the first. Fans loving that. We got ourselves a hacky game.
Yeah, but the Giants even the score, a 5-on-3 power play. James Henry finishes the scramble in front. Little ugly, but it counts, and it was 1-1.
Yeah, the Royals respond on a power play of their own, though. Some great passing down low, and Robin Sudek taps home that into the empty cage. Sudek had the Gordie Howe hat trick last night, Jeff, and it was 2-1 Royal.
Loving that kid already. Giants looking to respond, but the Royals goalie last night, Keith Hamilton, dynamite.
Yes, sir.
Victoria led this one 2-1 after the first.
Jump to the second, Rolls out of their lead. It's going to be the Kansas City kid, Logan Nelson, with a great individual effort. Just a $1.47 into the middle stanza, and the home team led this one at 3-1.
Yeah, just a couple minutes after that, the Royals add to their lead. Scrappy forward, Brandon, don't call me Bobby McGee, nets the loose puck at the side of the cage, and the Royals open up a 3-goal lead, and at that point at least, in total control.
So you think, jump to the third, the Giants start chipping away. First it's Nathan Burns who takes the puck at the side of the net, gets it past Hamilton. That made it 4-2.
Yeah, and then with just over 2 minutes left in the game, Dalton Sward made this game way too interesting, bringing the Giants to within 1 goal.
With the Giants pressing late, veteran forward Kevin Sunder seals it up with the empty netter.
Oh, yeah.
Victoria wins their first ever game in Royal fashion. 5-3 was your final score.
Yeah, great home win. The fans giving the team a standing ovation, and why not? What a hockey game we were treated to last night.
Yeah, what a great night and a great game for the home team, a night that both the fans and the players probably won't soon forget.
Yeah, and after the game, we caught up with the players who were pumped about the win and totally impressed with the Victoria fans and the excitement of opening night in their new home.
Yeah, it feels really good to get that first win under the belt. It was a good effort by the boys tonight, and great effort by the fans, too. It was awesome out there.
Oh, it was going nuts. There's nothing like the fans out there that gets the players going like that. A lot of us guys in there never really have played a game like that, so it was a great experience, and hopefully we can keep going like that the whole year.
Yeah, no, I think the guys played really well with the crowd tonight, and everyone's going home happy.
Yeah, it was awesome when we came out there and got introduced. It was a packed house. It gives you shivers, and it got everyone really excited to play. It was awesome. We wanted to show them a good game and show them that we're here to work hard, and we're really happy we got the win for them. They showed a lot of support throughout the game, and it really helped us out, I think.
Oh, it was like we had an extra skater out there. I just never got tired. You just hear these guys, and it just gives you more energy, and you just keep going and get the adrenaline pumping.
It's great to see. Welcome back, Victoria, to the Western Hockey League. You could tell just the energy of the players, the hits, a couple altercations, and the fans really were into it, and that really helps these young guys. And you can see, and I think the city of Victoria sees that there's a lot of try, and these kids are going to try, and it's great entertainment for the dollar.
This portion of Game On brought to you by Sopranos Bar and Grill, where fans gather before and after the game.
Yeah, you really could not have written a better script for the home opener, and we will hear from the fans in just a minute, Jeff.
Yeah, and along with the players, coaches, fans, and the media being excited about the return of the WHL to Victoria, the Dub Commissioner, Ron Robison, and was in town last night. Paul caught up with him last night between periods.
Well, here it is. The night's finally come. Is this what you expected? All the fans, everything? I mean, you couldn't better script this than that.
Well, I think it's exceeded everyone's expectation. What an atmosphere in here tonight. Like we talked to travel throughout our league. This is one of the best nights we've ever seen in terms of the atmosphere and the arena. The fans are loving it, and obviously a Royals lead really helps matters.
Absolutely. And does it kind of staple in your head, you know, we thought about coming back. It's taken 17 years, but now we're back. And we made the right decision.
Absolutely, no question. We were confident, but we never realized it to be this kind of response. I think the Royals are off to a real good start. They've got an outstanding organization led by Graham Lee, the ownership, and Dave Dacus at the management level. So we just think it's going to continue to build. I think people here are anxious for the Western Hockey League to come back. They love the product, and consequently, we think it's going to be a very successful franchise.
It seems like there's a younger generation who are really getting behind the WHL.
We work very hard at trying to attract younger fans. That's our next generation, obviously very important to every franchise, and I think that the game presentations has changed so much. There's going to be new video boards in the building here, I understand, soon, and consequently that'll just add to the features of the building. I think the on-ice product people can also identify with because the players are young and they're developing, and I think it's great to see the young fans here because they're the future of our game for sure.
I guess, is it a little early to be calling it a huge success, or will you got a huge success?
Oh, no question. It's been a huge success. Again, way beyond our expectations, and I think it's a credit to the work that's been done here in a short period of time to build this franchise, not only on the ice, but selling it off the ice as well. And the fans are responding just the way we had hoped.
Yeah, great to see the commissioner on hand last night, along with our mayor, Team Fortin, team owner Graham Lee, all with smiles on their faces. But the return of the Western Hockey League, of course, Paul, is all about the fans.
Yeah, and to say that the fans were happy with last night's game would be an understatement. And after a short break here on Game On, we'll have a look back at the sights and sounds of the first WHL game in 17 years here in Victoria.
But first, a look at some fan reaction following last night's Royals victory.
It was pretty cool, pretty uneven, exciting, a lot of goals.
The Vancouver came back at the end, and that made it a bit more exciting, but I think this will do a lot for the franchise, a big win on the home opener, so that's really good.
You going to be coming back again?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun.
Well, welcome back to a special live presentation of Game On. Keep in mind, Game On has a new time and day. You can catch our show Sunday nights now, 6:30, which you're watching right now, and 10:30, brought to you by our friends at Jenner Chef.
Yeah, Freddie and the crew.
That's right.
And yes, there is no question that last night marked the start of a new era in Victoria hockey. It was an unforgettable evening to kick off the Victoria Royals' inaugural season. And just in case you missed it, here are our favorite sights and sounds from opening night.
Hi.
No problem, man.
Hi. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right. Of course, my friends, we'll be here for the puck drop tonight just after 7 o'clock.
You're among the first seated. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, we got our tickets really early.
As soon as they came out?
Yeah.
We're actually sitting in a non-alcoholic section.
That was a bit of a mistake?
Yeah, we bought our tickets online, and so...
So I remember when the Cougars were here, so...
that was...
a little older than him.
Look what's happening here. 6,000, 7,000 people showing up. I mean, there's like cowbells everywhere. We're going to make more noise than the Rifflandia concert next door.
Here comes Crooks. Crooks shot. Scores! Jamie Crooks scores the very first home goal for the Victoria Royals. Almost got there. Another chance for Kelly. Scores! Nelson scores the goal for Victoria, and it's a 3-1 lead.
It was great, yeah. First home opener, awesome.
What was your favorite part of the night?
The fights. I like the fights.
It was a great game. I think this will do a lot for the franchise, a big win on the home opener, so that's really good.
Yes, last night was great. They certainly did impress the hometown fans there, Jeff.
And you know what else seems to impress the hometown fans, Paul?
What is that, Mr. King?
Well, the Game On Plays of the Week.
I forgot.
Plays of the Week is brought to you by Spank It Sports, BC's largest selection of soccer, rugby, and football stuff.
All right, let's start on the diamond where it's almost playoff time in the Bigs. Not for the Jays, though. Eddie Encarnacion wraps up the season in style with a walk-off bomb in Toronto's final home game. Maybe next year, boys? Maybe?
Doubt it. Okay. Doubt it. Maybe they should sign this guy from Yankee Stadium, makes the diving stab from his seat. Sort of looks like an old Mike Walker.
Why? Because he's bothering people? All right, busy week on the ice. A few Island boys impressing during NHL preseason. Both Tyson Barrie and Jordy Ben tally in the same game down in Dallas. That's fantastic.
Jordy?
Yeah, Jordy, not Jimmy.
Former Victoria Salsa captain Tyler Bozak nets a beauty for the Leafs. Gives you at least one reason to watch the Leafs this season.
That is right. Lots of pretty goals from the Island as well. How about the Cal Valley Caps using the set play off the end boards as they get the opening night win against the Grizzlies?
All right, Paulie, this is absolutely nuts file. Wingsuit flyer Jet Corliss flies through a hole in a mountain in China going more than 100 kilometers an hour. Why, you ask?
I don't know. Why?
We don't know.
All right, to the gridiron. BC Lions continuing to cruise against the Jeff. Who are they playing this week?
Shut up.
I can't remember.
Shut it.
5 straight wins. The chase for the Grey Cup is on.
Oh, green and white sucked. Big weekend for the VI Raiders quarterback. Jordan Yance became the BCFC all-time passing leader. Way to go, Yancey!
Yancey. All right, Canucks preseason against the Flames, and check out the wicked one-timer from Jordan. Don't call me Schrader. Makes no mistake. Canucks look ready to go. Schroeder.
There you
Don't call me Schroeder.
All right, we're talking Royals tonight. Why not finish it off? First goal in franchise history in Vancouver Friday night. I caught this. Stephen Hodges. Remember that name. Gets his name into the history books.
That is right. What a weekend it's been. We've got more on your Victoria Royals coming up as we welcome assistant coach Ennio Sacciolato and Times columnist sports reporter Cleve Diensa on the Sports Cage.
But first, here's a look at some Island standings.
Schroeder.
Standings are brought to you by Robbins Parking, proudly supporting local community and events.
When the anthem singer came out, that was the first time in my coaching career I actually had shivers down my spine. It was really kind of cool to see that.
Game On's Sports Cage is brought to you by Country Grocer. You'll feel like family.
Welcome back to Game On. You're in the Sports Cage, and Paul and I are happy to welcome a couple special guests. Victoria Royals assistant coach Ennio Sacciolato, and from the Times columnist, the Dean of Sports on Vancouver Island, Cleve Diensa. And Ennio, we will start with you. First of all, welcome to Victoria. Thoughts on the weekend? I mean, you must be just over the moon on how the team especially played last night.
Oh, it was a fantastic experience, and like everybody said, the fans were outstanding. It was electric, and it's a really honor and a privilege for me to be a part of the history and to be part of the team and to be here in Victoria. It was but the evening was, I can't describe it. The goosebumps were flying around all over the place.
And what were the kids like in the dressing room? The players after the game, they must have been just over the moon.
Oh, they were over the moon, and we had some of them on the ice this morning, and I was talking to some of them that played last night, and they said that their energy level, they just fed off the crowd, and their energy level was really high, and not one time did they feel tired or feel lactic acid in their legs.
Isn't
and it was
that great?
Just a great evening for everybody.
Now, Cleve, you've been waiting 17 years to see this game there last night, and it's finally back. I mean, that really must have exceeded your expectations.
Well, it did and it didn't. It was something you would expect to happen on the first weekend. But it's interesting to see the arc for those of us who have been here.
Yeah.
You're a hometown guy. I mean, the last game before this on Blanchard Street 17 years ago. Yeah. 5th straight year of missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that night must have been like in late April there or whatever? Yeah. And of course, 17 years later, the next game in a new building, not so new anymore, but and a wholly different atmosphere and a wholly different feeling to this team than the old Cougars, especially the last 5 years of that franchise, which was pretty dismal. And just a feeling of a high coming into this season, and ever since the announcement in April, and it's just rolled through this weekend.
Well, and you and I were chatting at the game last night. It's one thing to have this 7,006 crowd when it gets started, and fans in this town, we all know, can be somewhat finicky. I guess the proof in the pudding will be come January on a dreary Wednesday night after maybe they've lost a couple of games.
I was talking to the owner, Graham Lee, and he said the same thing. I mean, Victoria's famous for, one-offs are great.
Yeah.
Like you said, in November, when it's raining out and you don't feel like going, and will the crowds hold? I think they will. I mean, the novelty of the first year, I think it's second, third, fourth year that you have to sort of see the proof will be in the pudding then. But this is for the long term. I mean, as long as RG's here, this team's going to be here. You're talking 20, 30, 40 years into the future. So there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. But I think interest will hold. It's a product that people here are comfortable with, and there's a knowledge level with the major junior brand that there wasn't with the minor pro brand.
Absolutely. Now, and I want to ask you this, because I know the guys, they go out there, they hammer each other, and they look like these big pros, but they're just kids. They're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. How do you keep the nerves last night? Because I know there's 7,000 plus in the rink. They're going bananas. How do you bring your team back down to earth and just say, you know what, this is a hockey game. Let's just play hockey here.
Well, our approach as coaches, we were loose with the guys and somewhat relaxed, maybe more relaxed than we would have been if it was a different situation. But you want to keep the mood cheerful, and that's what we did last night. Try to keep the guys relaxed, and a couple of guys were a little nervous. We had them taking a couple of deep breaths and just, just
that was Jeff and I doing that as well before the game.
That's right. I want to ask you this because, talk about a totally different team from Friday night. Cleve and I were at the game at Pacific Coliseum. Talk about a nervous team gripping the sticks. And, I mean, what was the difference between Friday night? A much different team last night than we saw, especially in the first two periods on Friday night.
Well, there's 7,000 people in the building, and they're all cheering for you, and so you just feed off the energy, like I said earlier here, and that's the big thing. You're playing at home, and it's your home rink, and you want to establish a tradition in your own rink, and establish a culture, and make it hard for teams to come in here and compete against us, and and that's what the feeling is, and when you have 7,000 people on your side, it makes a huge difference, especially with the cowbells and the atmosphere that was around last night.
Always need more cowbell. Now, Cleve, you mentioned there was a change. There was a different feel as opposed to 17 years ago when the old WHL was here. What's the main difference between the two products? Because I know the game and the league has grown exponentially since it's left.
Oh, I think it's become a better product. The whole surrounding atmosphere of the league is
more professional.
It's more professionally run. It's almost well, not almost. It's run like a professional organization because it is essentially a professional organization. Right. It has one goal. It is producing pros for the future, and they don't hide that fact why they're here and why they have a business, and that's their business. And they know what Rod Robinson has really brought to this outfit is that he realizes, okay, that's our core business, but there's so much else that surrounds that. Fans still have to want to come out after the hardcore ones who are just interested in who's going to which draft pick. You got to get the average guy, Joe, out who really doesn't care who's going to be drafted, who doesn't. And he realizes nights like last night are very, very important to that. So he's brought a real element of showmanship to the core business of what they do, which is producing hockey players. And the whole show which surrounds the WHL is so much different than it was back in the old days. You grew up with the Regina Pats. I mean, you just go to the rink and it was
it's a hockey game, and that's it. Just a hockey game.
And the hardcore guys were there. It's such a different show and a different presentation 17 years later than it was, than the old Cougars fans would
And Ron
remember.
Robson was talking about that, just seeing all the young faces. It seems like a younger generation of hockey fan is starting to watch, for sure.
Quickly, not much time left. Talk about your young team and the struggles that they may go through this year, because with 3 16-year-olds and 6 17-year-olds, you do have a young roster in you.
Yeah, we do. We have a very young team, a very talented team, but a very young team, and we lack some experience, and which we hopefully will develop over the time here. And it's a good coaching project for us, because we got to do a lot of teaching and the guys got to do a lot of learning. So it's going to be we're going to have our ups and downs, but I think overall in the long run we're going to be a pretty good hockey team. We've got a lot of good young guys.
Would you not think that work ethic will be paramount then with this young team?
Well, that's one of the things that we're really relying on, is our work ethic and our tenacity. And we expect a lot out of the guys, and they come to work every day, and we give them full days, and work ethic is definitely at the top of our list.
Nice. Well, unfortunately, we only have about 30 seconds left.
I think we got one word to describe last night. We'll go down the list here. Enio, what do you think? If you could give it one word to describe the emotion in there.
Outstanding, sensational.
Nice. He's told 2, though.
Yeah,
you only get 1.
Well, for those rebirth, renaissance, I'd say, yeah, 2. Yeah. I got 2 too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just, I think shivers. Like, it just gave me shivers all night, from the national anthem to the first goal. I just kept getting shivers.
And I say electricity, which was just amazing. Guys, thanks very much for coming in.
Fun
We
with
certainly
words,
do
too.
appreciate it. And remember, Game On now, each and every Sunday night, 6:30 and 10:30, right here on the Big Six. Join us. We'll have Royals reports and everything that's going on Vancouver Island. Join us for Game On each and every Sunday night. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Good night. Bye.